Hi all, so welcome back to this channel once again, and today I'll create this video on compound SQL statement in user defined function. So basically this time I'll be demonstrating that how we can use multiple SQL statements within a single user defined function. So let's move towards the demo. So let me show you this pf first. So this physical file has three fields, that is id, name, and it has a column sales. Now again, for this file pf3 underscore d, we have id and purchase. So basically these two files have sales and purchase amount in itself. So let me show you the data. So you can see id1 has sale this and id2 have sale this much, and the same way id1 has purchased this and id2 has purchased this. So basically we are going to calculate the profit, so whatever the sale amount and minus the purchase amount. So for example, someone purchased that in 50,000 but sell that in 6,000 or 10,000, then he or that person will be in loss. So basically we are calculating profit or loss here just by negating. So this is just a demo to show you how we can use compound SQL statements, multiple SQL statements in the same user defined function. So I'm doing the calculations there. Now I have to create a UDF having the compound SQL statements. So let me open this. Now I'll directly move on to the begin and end section, which contains which is basically the function body. So here you can see we are writing this query: select sales into this variable sales f of decimal line 0. So I have declared this within the begin section, declare sales f decimal line 0 from select sales into this from pf2 underscore d, that is the first file where id equals to idf. Now idf is something which is coming as an input parameters to this user defined function. So basically we are taking input as id and we are calculating whether that id or whether that person is in loss or profit. Now writing the second query where I am selecting the purchase amount into purchase f variable, which is declared here from pf3d where id equals to idf. So based upon the id I am fetching from these two tables the sales amount and the purchase amount. This query can be can be combined to make it one, but I written it separately, so you can write it in a one go. Then you can see I'm checking if sales amount is greater than equal to purchase amount, then means it's some profit, or let me correct this, if it's equal then no profit. So we can mention if let's if sales f equals to this, then end if so we can no profit slash loss. So no need to do such calculations here into profit loss from this table, and if it's greater than, then it's profit, then what we are doing, we are appending the profit, this is string, and concatenating with this sales minus purchase amount, and then converting that to character, and then trimming that, and then concatenating into this variable in the SQL function profit loss, that is character 20, because this is returning character 20. Else it will say its loss, and it will minus from, that is purchase minus sales, so that would be the loss amount into this, and at last you can see the return of that profit loss, whatever its profit, no profit or loss, or loss. And now just come on to these SQL function properties which I used. So here you can see I used language SQL, since it's a SQL function, so it's optional, either we can use it or we should not. Specific profit loss, so this is the name of the function. When we create this function using run SQL statement, the service program objects gets created with this, which is unique always, but the function, we can create a function with the same name, profit underscore loss, later, but that the specific name must be different. Not deterministic, so as we don't know whether the result would be deterministic or not. For example, I'm passing id 1, and at this time their purchase amount is say 1000 and sales amount is 2000, and if I'm passing again, let's say that table gets updated, that sale amount is something higher and purchase amount is also higher, then on the same id input we will be getting the same result which we fetched in the earlier run, because the results were there, were cached in the memory. So they, in that case, the function would not get called, and they simply return the cached value, because we do not have mentioned not deterministic, we mentioned deterministic. So this way we need to mention this non-deterministic, not fenced, so it means it won't run in the separate thread, it will run in the same thread. So in case if any cursor would have to be opened later, that would be open during the call, and that would be an advantage over the performance. Reads SQL data, yes, it would read SQL data, it is not modifying anything using SQL, so it is basically getting the information using the SQL. So read SQL data. Returns null on null input, so if I pass null value here, it will directly return the output, return as null, so it won't return any value, it won't call the function. So it basically first check whether it's null or not. If it's null, it will return null on the null input. So that's for the function. Let me compile this. Run SQLSTM UDF 16, sorry, this is a source file, source number is this. Now if I do work object on profit loss, so you can see this is the service program which gets created with the specific name which we mentioned in the UDF. So this was the module, and this is the procedure name, profit underscore loss underscore 1. So basically the specific name is profit loss, but the procedure name is profit underscore loss underscore 1, and the function name is this. So when we execute this function, we will execute by the function name, not by the specific name. So let's execute this. Select star from, let's say select from the dummy table. So currently it returns me a flag. Now if I would use my function, that is profit underscore loss, so you can see I cannot call a function by my specific name. So I have to use the function name profit underscore loss. Now I have to pass the ID. So ID, let's say I'm passing 1. So it's saying that profit is of 2000 rupees. So if I look at select start from pf underscore 2d pf2 underscore d. So for ID1 its sales is 5000 and purchase amount is 3000, so the profit is of 2000. Now let's say I'm passing ID2, it says loss of 40,000. Let's see, sales amount is 10,000 and the purchase amount is 50, so it's a loss of 40,000. So if I pass something, let's say ID3, it would return me null because it won't find anything there with ID3. Now if I pass null as I mentioned, it would return me null, so it won't call the function in this case. At the previous case, when I pass 3id, it will run the function, it will execute all the SQL statements, it won't found any data and it will return null. But here in this case it will return me null because I mentioned explicitly mentioned that on null input return null. So this would not call the function and save our time. So this way you can see how we can execute this. Let me do some. So I'll pass the ID column itself from those table pf2 underscore d. So it will show me the profit for ID1 and the loss for ID1. And if I pass pf3 underscore d, the same result would be. See, now let's select some. Let's join this table. So it's an inner join by default, underscore d on, let's say it's a, let's say it's b, e dot id equals to b dot id. So I can see this data, so id comes twice. So let's select a dot id comma e dot name comma e dot sales comma a dot, sorry, not a dot, now b dot purchase, because purchase column is in. Okay, comma is missing here. Let's, so you can see this is the data. Now let's call our function as well. So I'll pass the id column to this. Okay, this is ambiguous now. So let's say pass a dot id. So you can see the for ID1 and 2, name is name1 name2, sales was this, purchase was this, so this was the profit and this is the loss. So, and if I pass p.id, we would be getting the same results. So you can see the same results are there. So this way you can create a SQL UDF having the compound statement, multiple SQL statements where you can declare your variables, you can write your SQL sim in if and else block, but you have to return some one scalar value always. So that's what here I am to show, and that's all in this video. So thank you and have a nice time.